You see it all the time in the news, right? A new poll drops. It says a candidate is leading with a margin of error of plus or minus 3 points at a 95% confidence level. Now, we hear that 95%, and our brains just naturally think, okay, so this poll is 95% correct. But what if I told you that's not what it means at all? So let's just ask it straight up. Does 95% confidence mean the results are 95% accurate? The short answer? Nope, not even close. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest and most common misunderstandings in all of statistics. So let's dive in and really dissect this misconception. Because I promise you, once you understand what's actually going on behind that number, you are never going to look at a poll the same way again. Yeah, it's completely natural to think that 95% confidence means this one single poll has a 95% chance of being right. But the truth is, it's about something else entirely. It's not really about the accuracy of a single poll at all. This is where we need to make a little mental shift. That 95% isn't about how correct this one poll is. It's about what would happen if we could run the exact same poll over and over and over again. It's about probability over the long run. Okay, so the absolute best way to wrap your head around this is with a little thought experiment. Let's just forget about all the complicated math for a minute and just imagine this scenario. Imagine you've got all the time and all the money in the world, and you decide to run the exact same poll, same questions, same methods, 100 completely separate times, each with a new random group of people. Okay, so you've done your 100 polls. Out of that 100, there's a magic number we care about. And you guessed it, that number is 95. What this really means is that 95 of those 100 times, the poll's range, that's the main number plus or minus the margin of error, will successfully capture the actual true opinion of the entire population. But, and this is the really important part, that means in 5 of those 100 polls, just by pure random chance, you're going to get a result that's an outlier. It's going to miss the true value completely. And here's the kicker. When you read that single poll in the news, you have no way of knowing if you're looking at one of the 95 or one of the 5.
So let's circle back to our example. Candidate A has 40% support, plus or minus 3%. The wrong way to see this is, okay, this poll is 95% believable. The right way is, we're 95% confident that if we did this 100 times, 95 of those times, the candidate's actual support would be captured in a range like this one. In this case, somewhere between 37% and 43%.
Okay, so this leads us to the big practical question, doesn't it? If any single poll we see could be one of those 5 unlucky outliers, how in the world are we supposed to spot one? How do we keep from getting fooled?
Well, the good news is you don't need to be a statistician to do this. Here's a quick and easy toolkit for reading polls a whole lot more wisely.
You want to be on the lookout for 3 major red flags. First, be wary of any single poll that shows a huge, dramatic shift out of nowhere. Second, if it wildly disagrees with a bunch of other polls released around the same time, raise an eyebrow. And third, just trust your gut. If a result seems to go against everything else we know for no clear reason, be skeptical. This chart is a perfect example of that first point. So imagine candidate A has been polling steadily for weeks, right around 49%. Then, bam, one poll shows a massive drop to 40%. Now, it doesn't automatically mean that poll is wrong, but it is a huge warning sign. It's a reason to pause and wait for more data to see if it's a real trend or just an outlier. So here it is, your new poll reading checklist. Step 1, never ever trust just one poll. Look at the average of several. 2, watch the trend over time, not a single snapshot. 3, check the nerdy details, like sample size. You generally want to see over 1,000 people surveyed. And finally, step 4, always consider the source. Who paid for this poll? And remember, that whole 5 out of 100 problem is just about random statistical chance. There are other ways polls can go wrong, like sample bias. I mean, if a poll only surveys people who still have landline phones, for example, it's not getting a true snapshot of everybody, right? That can skew the results, no matter what the confidence level says. So here's the most important takeaway of all. A poll is a snapshot, not a crystal ball. It's a photograph of public opinion at one specific moment, with a built-in and very honest degree of uncertainty. So the next time you see a poll in the headlines, remember what 95% confidence really is. It isn't a guarantee of accuracy. It's an honest admission of uncertainty. And now that you know that, well, don't those headlines look just a little bit different?